Welcome, hosts Dustin, and Anna.
What is going on, everybody? I'm going to
What
let
up?
the man who wanted to do this awesome segment go ahead and introduce what we're doing today. Big D, what are we doing?
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Barrens Hideout podcast. We are doing Tales from the Barrens.
Number three.
Number three.
Number three, baby. Dale Earnhardt, baby. there it is, baby. Raise hail, praise Dale, baby.
Praise Dale, praise Dale. If you ain't first, you last.
That's what I'm talking about. So, Tales from the Barrens, if you are new here, what we do is we compile 3 short films together to create our own anthology, and we rate them what we call the Scare Scale.
Mm-hmm.
The Scare Scale consists of
Story,
creature, atmosphere, runtime,
and effects.
And effects. I have it pulled up. I didn't forget. So we each brought. I tasked Anna with giving me 3 topics. She gave me the 3, and I hunted down. I scoured YouTube to find these 3 shorts. And might I say, I'm pretty fucking proud of the 3 that I found.
You
Because
killed it.
they are a blast. Well, we'll let you
killed
decide.
it.
We'll do a scare scale. But what we do on the scare scale is we rate it. So for story, we rate it from 0.5 to 1. And that's how we get our average.
Yeah.
And it's a 0 to 5 scale when it comes to the points. So each short can be 2 point or a 2 out of 5 or a 5 out of 5. However, we end up rating it at the end of the short. So I guess I'm starting it, right? Like we're kicking it off how I had it lined up in Discord.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. So I brought a Spanish short film called Timothy. This is the slasher of the 3 that Anna told me to hunt down. And the short kicks off with this little boy named Simon watching this, kids show with this fucking, like, the most terrifying mascot you can think of. What it reminded me of, I don't know if you guys ever played Silent Hill.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Played all of them.
Those rabbits is what it reminded me of. And then his babysitter, Simone, comes in and fucking wrestles the controller away from him, turns it off, tells his ass to go to bed.
She was so rude and hateful. I'm
yeah.
sorry. And a flat out bitch to that poor kid.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
Yeah, no, it's okay. But before she turned the TV off, there was a flash on the screen of Timothy that looked pretty fucking spooky.
Mm-hmm.
So now you got Simon laying in his bed, and there's rustling and bustling going on, and lo and behold, Timothy is in his fucking room. And then it cuts back to Simone out there listening to fucking reggae. She done wrinkled one up and just big chilling out there, dude. And then Simon walks out and he's like, "Hey, so just by the way, Timothy's here." And she's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Out comes the giant the fact that he has to duck under the doorway.
Yeah.
And look at her. He fucking coddles this kid, dude. And when Simon goes to get fucking food for him, and of course he's gonna grab goddamn carrots, because what do kids think rabbits eat like that, dude?
Carrots.
While that shit's happening, dude, fucking Timothy, there's a phone call, and Simone's like, "I'm gonna answer it." And Timothy lifts up this goddamn sledgehammer, starts wailing on her, dude. So good. And this was probably my favorite part of it because, Timothy's still explaining himself to Simon as he's done killed the babysitter.
Yeah.
And the fact that it goes into the TV show aspect, like the big sun rays and it's fucking balloons dropping and confetti out of focus type of thing, I really liked. Then we see the cops into the building, right?
The whole
cops
SWAT
are entering. SWAT team, essentially, yeah. Talking to this little boy on the couch. It pans out and you see Timothy sitting next to him. Then it pans out again and all we see is the little boy. Simon. So I need to ask you guys this right now. Was Timothy Simon?
I would definitely say, yeah. Kid's imagination.
This little boy killed his babysitter.
And I don't
And
fucking
pulled
blame
to
him. She was a
pieces.
bitch. She was awful.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So
There's a part of me that wants to say it was him just because of the way the shots were set up too at the end. But there's also like she's clearly looking behind him when Timothy comes in, or Simon comes in. She sees his size. So and Simon goes to the refrigerator and gets the carrots and comes back and all this has happened. Do we really think that little kid is strong enough to heft up a sledgehammer and swing?
Maybe he.
I was thinking it was more like a
him,
spirit or something.
Oh, spirit.
I was thinking spirit.
You said this was
because the TV was like the TV glitched too. Kind of. It was kind of reminded me of like Five Nights at Freddy's in a way, like with an animatronic, except. Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah, I took it as it was the little kid's like psyche just broke. Yeah. Michael Myers style, you know?
Yeah.
And he's had enough, and that is that, you know. But as for the scare scale, I'm gonna get into rating this bad boy.
Do it.
The story, I loved it. It gave from point A to point B real quick. We learned to not like the babysitter, and we learned about the peril. So I'm gonna give that a 1.
Okay.
The creature, Timothy himself, pretty scary, right? Like, and then what was even more scary is he talked with the high pitched voice, like he had his TV voice. So I'm going to give that a 0.75. Atmosphere, it's nighttime. They're alone. She's the babysitter. You know, you're stuck right into this house with her and everything that's happening to them. So I'm going to give that another 0.75. Runtime, it was 11 minutes.
No, it was 8 minutes, 20 seconds.
8 minutes, 20 seconds. Perfect time. In and out, told the story. It gets a 1. The effects, when that girl's getting beat in the head with the sledgehammer,
slow motion.
It's brutal as fuck, and you see all of it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give that a 1 as well, which gives me giving this short a 4.5.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah. So, Anna, we're gonna move to you. What did you like about it, and what are we gonna rate it? If you liked it, talk about the short, more or less.
I did like it. I don't know why. Okay, so usually when I watch these, like last week, or if I'm going by any kind of list, I'll start at the top and just make my way down. So there's a couple of other short films called Timothy, and that's when I had to like screenshot and be like, which one are you talking about? And so while I was waiting for you to reply, I went ahead and started Fishwife. So because I had already started it, I just finished it, and I just was blown away by it. And so then I went back to Timothy and watched it, and I don't know if maybe I just didn't watch it in the right order, but I don't know. Something just didn't land with me as much. Maybe it's because I've seen the scary like rabbit like costumes before. Like Donnie Darko did it better a little bit.
Oh sure.
I don't know. I mean, I still rated it pretty good. Like for story, I did a 0.5 because that whether you look at it as Timothy being a demon or a spirit or Simon's psyche breaking, either way, that could be a very interesting full film. The creature, I just gave it a 0.5 because I feel like it's something that we've seen before. And atmosphere, I also gave a 0.5 just because it might have been the babysitter too. Just like how shitty she was being to him felt unrealistic. I mean, I know it happens, but I don't know. That might have been something that just kind of soured me at the start too. Runtime 0.5 because I kind of wish I would have had more with this one. I need a little more. Like you said, this is a slasher, and that's what I like. So I kind of feel like I kind of need a little more information
Sure.
But the effects, yeah, definitely won, because when he landed that sledgehammer, even I was like, damn. Like, it really looked like he was hitting her head with the sledgehammer, and it didn't look like a dummy. It looked like a person. So I was like, okay, I can get behind that. It did redeem itself in the end a little bit, just because of the way that whole ending sequence played out. Like, he was on the show and the balloons were falling as the cops are coming in. I like that blending of what's real and what's not, you know. So
Sure.
overall, that gave me a 3 out of 5.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Little D, what you got?
All right. So story, I did like it, but I don't know if I liked it as much as Big D. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 0.5 as well. For the creature, I kind of align with Anna. Like, I like the whole concept of like a mascot coming and fucking killing your family or whoever's with you. I think that's pretty brutal and pretty funny in a way. But I'm gonna give that one like a 0.75, I think, for that one. Atmosphere, I dug the atmosphere, being at home. You're stuck there with this awful babysitter and you're trying to watch a show. I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 1 because I was really there. I really enjoyed being here, even though it was an awful time being there. And then for runtime, I'm gonna give that a 1 as well. I felt like it was just where it needed to be. Do I want more and see what maybe happened after the cops were there and get an actual maybe explanation? Maybe, but then again, this is a short film and it could always expand upon that with a full length if they really wanted to. But
Right.
yeah, I'm going to give that a 1. For the effects, I'm also going to give that a 1 because I think getting the costume itself was badass. I really liked the whole getup. It was very innocent and not so like in your face, and to seeing this like very innocent looking bunny just go ahead and slam this babysitter's face in with a sledgehammer, I thought was pretty brutal. And also seeing blood on it, but it was also still smiling with that high pitched voice. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely gonna go ahead and give that a 1. I did enjoy this short a lot. I don't know
Nice.
where I'm at for points though.
That puts you at a 4.25.
Okay.
So with that, I'm going to do 4.25 plus 4.5 plus 3 divided by 3. That gives us a 3.91 average.
Okay, so that's definitely
For this
way
short.
above average.
Very nice. I need to write
Yeah.
3.91.
Yeah, 3.92 technically if I'm rounding.
Cool. I like that.
So, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. That's a
Very
solid
nice.
short.
Mhm.
But all right, Anna. Let's hear what you brought to the table.
Fishwife.
What'd you bring out of
This
the
is
water?
I don't want to know. This is the longest of the 3, and I was a little concerned about that when I first clicked on it. I was like, damn, this one's a little long for a short. We kind of talked about that last week. But there's not a whole lot of dialogue in this. The setting is absolutely stunning, and it's what sold me right off the jump, because it's very like it's a setting that you would see where I live if you get deep enough out into the country, and especially where mountains are and stuff. So I really related to that. It was just beautiful. And I love that like dark, dreary aesthetic and like rain. That's just me. I love it. So we've got this woman. She's living by herself. She lives on the water. At the start of it, she has her period. So with it being like 18th century, this is very much living off the land. She's washing her clothes in the lake. So something is in this lake, we find out later, has smelled her menstrual cycle, and it has attracted it to her. And it's really, there's really sad moments too, because it's a lot of like solitude, and you kind of feel like that she's this very lonely woman because she's by herself all the time. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I talk to myself. I mean, not to this extent, but if I was alone long enough, I could definitely like see myself longing for just human connection and a human touch. And she stands up and is pretending to dance with someone. Like at first, she's acting like somebody's coming in her house, and she's like showing them what she's wearing. And it's obviously she's wishing it was a partner in some way. And then she gets a knock on the door after she tries to go to bed. She kind of hears something outside. We see something go by, but she doesn't from the window. And she gets a knock on the door and answers it. And it's a very attractive young man, and saying that he's cold. He feels like something's chasing him, and he just wants to come stand by the fire and get some directions, which turns into him like throwing up this looks like a little scarab looking thing from the Mummy. And she's trying to be caring and helpful and runs over like, "Are you okay?" And in a short that has very little dialogue, the dialogue that is used is very effective. Like, all he says is, "I don't want to hurt you." Why would we have any reason to suspect that he's really there to hurt her? Just like she's feeling. But at that point, I would have been like, "Huh, hold up. Wait, what'd you say?" But she was even like, "You're not hurting me," because he's kind of like, he's acting sick and he's thrown this thing up and he's hugging on her, and she's just trying to be comforting to him. But he ends up taking this thing and shoving it inside of her. And then he leaves. He literally leaves. And once he gets far enough out the door, gets on all fours and starts running like a dog. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? So we see a progression of time too, because it's not a calendar. It's a little like notch in a wheel for like 30 days for a month kind of thing. Or 31 days, I should say. And so we see time pass. We also see she's getting gifts. She's getting fish. And every time she picks it up outside her door, she's like looking up and around. At this point, we also see that she's pregnant. She stands up and she's getting pretty close to like ready to go, ready to pop. And she's trying to eat this fish. We see that she's hung fish bones like up in her house and decorated it with it. It's like she's really like starting to go mad, I think. And it gets to the point at the end where I think she's ready to have the baby. And maybe it's rage too, because see, we see this guy show up at the start. That's one thing I want to get you guys' thoughts on, because I don't really understand where he comes into it unless he has something to do with whatever's in the water. Maybe he's like a messenger, a middleman kind of thing. But he ends up showing up while she's in this hysteria, like going into labor, don't know what's going on, having a breakdown. And she's like flashing back to everything we've seen and that she's gone through over the past few months. And she just stabs this guy and kills him. And at the end of the short, she goes, and I'm like, oh, she's about to birth this like squid baby in the lake. She's ready to pop a squat and let it go free. And she sits down in the water. We get like a 2-second shot of some creature popping up above the water about this high and starting to come towards her. And then we get a shot of her kind of smiling, and it ends. I want this whole movie. I want all the details. And like for me too, I think I've mentioned on here, maybe not, but deep, dark waters, like that shit scares me. Like,
Same.
so
Sure.
it was that was another great factor about this, is that it scared me, which is what I liked about it. I was like, I want to know what this thing is. I loved this short. So on the story factor, obviously I'm giving it a 1. And it's just, it's just a beautiful movie. Short. The creature, also very effective. I think the 2 seconds we saw was enough, because it was enough of a glimpse. I don't even want to like go back and try to pause and look further. It was enough to make my imagination start whirling. So that's a 1. Atmosphere, I jumped a minute ago ahead, but yeah, atmosphere is 1 for sure. Just, I can't stress enough how visually stunning this was for me. Runtime, I'm going to give it a 1 just because of the simple fact that I just really like the story. I know it's kind of long for a short, and that was, like I said, when I clicked play, I was like, I don't know, it's a little long, but it ended up paying off in the end, and I really enjoyed it. And yeah, effects, it's definitely going to be a 1. This is a 5er for me, guys. I think this is, I loved Revenge, but I think this is my favorite we've watched thus far.
Okay.
Nice.
Little D, we'll start with you. What did you think about Fishwife?
All right, story. Yeah, I'm gonna go and give you a 1 for that one for sure. Creature. I want to agree with you, and I want to agree that
You don't have to agree with me.
What we have there is enough. But I think when he's running away, I think they tried to do an effect of him morphing into the kind of
Yes.
I thought I saw something too. Yeah.
And with it being that far away, I'm like, well, if they already are kind of giving you something, I want more of it. So I'm gonna go and give that one a 0.75 because like I thought that the build up this guy was good, and also to see him running away, but also seeing this transformation, I was like, let's give us some more of it. Atmosphere, definitely 1. I think it was beautifully shot. I think everything over there is great. The house itself, everything in it, and because you get pretty intimate with like how her house is, and even when that guy walks in, he's like, "Ooh, this is nice," you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 1. A runtime, man. From the words of Kay Lynch from Salem Horror Fest, she says, "If you're gonna have a long short, it better be a good fucking short." I'm gonna go ahead and give that a 1 because it is a very good short. It's long,
yeah.
but I felt like they did a great job of what they were trying to tell, and it didn't feel like almost 17 minutes.
It went fast.
It did. And the effects, I think I'm going to go and put that kind of in the same thing with the creature, or give it a 0.75, because like you were trying to have something, and you did show this thing, even though it was for a couple of seconds, and even at the end, just seeing a little bit of its head, or whatever it may have been. Like, I think if they gave us more, it would have been a complete 1.
Mm-hmm. Just anything popping out of the water looking at me like that is going to heebie my GV.
Oh,
like anytime.
It's like, is that an alligator?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
so
D?
that gave you a 4.5.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We need the total.
Yeah. So when I found this short, my first immediate reaction was it's 16 minutes.
Yeah.
And out of all of the other ones I was combing through, this one is the one where I started watching it and turned it off immediately and picked it, because once I seen the atmosphere, the setting, I'm like, all right, this is fucking it. Because every other one So story, I love the fact that the first 7 minutes of this short is silent.
Mm-hmm.
It tells a lot of story visually.
Definitely.
I thought that little peg she was moving was gonna be, is like a calendar of her counting down for someone to come home. You know, like I thought like that was her counting down for that. We do see
good point, dude. That's that's good. I didn't think of that.
So we do see that guy that carries a basket around, and on IMDb he is listed as the familiar. So I'm assuming he's a familiar to what we see later in the short. Like how Salem, the cat familiar type of thing, you know, like for witches.
This fish thing's got a dude. Maybe.
Yeah, or like how he had his own Renfield. Pretty much.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, he grabbed her clothes or something, right? And probably brought it to whatever this thing is.
For story, I'm giving that at a 1, because like Anna said, there's very little dialogue that's said, but when it's said, it's sandwiched in between 2 very impactful silent scenes. So that's getting a 1 for me. Creature, absolutely a 1, because I'm lumping in the fact that we seen him throw that thing up, because that's part of his fish man ability. And then when he books out the door, gets on all 4s, and then starts dragging his legs, I'm like, did he just transform in front of us? Type of thing. Like watching, I'm like, he just transformed right in front of us. And then getting to see the from the head, the chin up in the water, it was enough for me. That was perfect. Atmosphere, absolutely beautiful, colonial like fishing town.
Yeah, this was,
you know what I mean?
Supposed to be in what, the 18th century or something like that.
Something, the candle, everything was candle lit. Looked, and what made it even better is like Anna said, the black water and the blue backdrop.
Yeah.
With
So
it
pretty.
With it looking so dreary, it looked
The rocks
so
are awesome
good.
too.
Is that
Yeah.
what you think of when you think of like the Barrens hideout, like an area like that?
Yes.
Me too. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Lake Loch Ness.
cobblestones. Yeah, like all, like there's no roads or nothing like that. It's all dirt and concrete or
Mines,
dirt and
wood,
gravel and
water,
stone.
all
Yeah.
that shit, man.
Yeah. Stabbings,
Yeah.
shit like that. The runtime, like I said, that was what made me hesitate the first time picking this one.
Sure.
Didn't bother me one bit that it was 16 minutes. Did not. And the effects, I'm gonna lump in the fish man with the thing he threw up. Easily another one. So Anna's not the only one sitting on the 5 mountain.
And you are hard to get 5s, dude.
And I am very stingy with 5s.
You
knocked it out of the park.
This is up there with Treevenge.
Damn. You knocked it out of the park with this. You really did.
5 plus 5 was 4.5.
I've literally been thinking about it since I watched it.
So our average is 4.83.
Damn.
For a rating for this.
Good.
That's great. I love it. This is written and directed by Beth Park. I wonder if she's done any more shorts because I really enjoy. And it's just the two of like being a woman and being by yourself, and
you know what, Anna?
There's that whole other aspect too. What's up?
Reach out to her.
You think I should?
She's got like a little.
Oh, she has a couple of them. She has Wild Animal, Bloody Bites.
Bloody Bites.
Yeah,
that's a
right.
Springbox thing, or Bloody Disgusting, I think.
Ooh.
The Bloody Bites.
Yeah. Stay tuned for that.
Yeah. But yeah, I want this whole movie. I want a whole Fishwife movie, and I want a whole Treevenge movie.
Yeah, reach out to her, see if we can get her thoughts.
That'd be fun. I'll try. All right, little D, you bringing it home for us. What's the last one we're covering?
I am, and okay. I just want to say I did enjoy the other shorts. I did, but when it comes to old houses, found footage, dude, this is my shit. This is called House of the Witch. And you
and an evil laugh.
Mwah.
I'm sorry, I don't have Vlad right now. I have to get him. He's the one with the evil laugh. So
he's napping. He's been working hard today.
Yeah, too much. But this is House of the Witch, and you are following an insurance film dude, which I didn't even really know insurance.
He's going there to like get evidence that this house, like, for insurance purposes.
And
so
it's
a
weird.
Police officer. Yeah,
I didn't even know that was like a thing that insurance companies did. But yeah, you have the police officer who's got the body cam, and they meet out, and then she tells us, police officer tells the insurance dude like a backstory of like, oh, this house, like, lady's been missing for months, so she's just like presumed dead. Just like, that's kind of weird, but I guess that makes sense. So they go into this house, and they also say, yeah, this is all the way back from like the 1600s, and you're like, wow, really, 1600s, back in like the witch trials, and you're like, yep, the oldest one around. I'm like, okay, so we're already in it.
The same one.
Yeah,
the same one.
And they're like, oh, is the power even going to be on? Like, well, legally, they can't shut off the power in the winter. And I'm just like, oh, is that actually true? I was
going to ask you that because you'd be the only one that really would I have to worry about that, right? Like,
yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of, we can leave your power on, even in the winter. But I'm like, okay, I'm into it, I guess. So they go in here, and there's some lights that don't work, but they also have like their own. And they're talking about, oh, well, if I need it, I'll turn on the big one on the camera. She's like, well, I got my own little one here. So they're going through this house, and you can tell it's old and it's creepy. And it's got all the found footage shit that you love of like peeking around corners or being like, is there something in the distance over there? There's not enough light there, so shine it up more. And you just like, your mind is like racing and trying to figure out what's going on, or slowly opening doors or finding doors that you didn't see before. Which I thought was really, really cool. They go through everything, and then they talk about, oh, we're in this room, and it's like they didn't want any light in here, and they can see like the table almost looked like a meeting place. Like the chairs were like that kind of culty look. And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I guess they didn't want to lay in here. And then the police officer goes and says a story about how when she was younger, everybody thought that the person that lived here was a witch, and her friends made fun of her. And she was like, you know what? I'm gonna go and prove that I'm strong. I'm gonna go here for Halloween one year and go and trick or treat or bang on her door, and then ask her what's going on or to say hi. And she said that the lady grabbed her arm and was trying to pull her in because she was like, "Oh, we got candy in here." All right, when you hear somebody say there's candy in the house that's come in, don't introduce yourself to try to make it seem better. She's like, I introduced myself, to make it not so awkward. And she was like, oh, and by the way, my family is part of the police. My dad is like the sheriff, like just saying that or whatever. I'm like, okay, I also get it. And she's like, yeah, my friends are in the bush too, like watching. I'm like, they should come and fucking save you. But no, she manages to leave. And then they head upstairs, and you think something's gonna happen multiple times in here. And it doesn't. And it kind of keeps building on that. And you're like, something's going to happen. So the tension is rising and rising and rising. And then the insurance dude goes back and he finds a door that they didn't see before. And he opens it up and it's closed, right? And then finds another door and he opens it. And he goes down the stairs, and that gave me serious Hell House vibes. The stairs
Me
going
too,
down.
dude. I felt the same thing.
I'll tell you why. Because the lights cut out in the house.
Yeah.
And when they have to turn on the camera light and her flashlight, that is like quintessential found footage lighting. It's just like you get like the kind of circle because you don't quite see what's in the corners of the screen, but man, you are not fucking wrong, dude. Like that.
Yeah,
it was some good Hell House 1, not 3.
Yes, for sure. So he goes down into this basement area, and you're like, "Oh, this is wild." And then we cut back to the police officer after we find out that the guy saw that the door was locked or closed, and he's like screaming and being like, "Wow, this isn't fucking funny," blah blah blah. And then the police officer goes down and is like asking where this guy is, and she finds that the door is open. And then she goes to the other door, and that one's unlocked and opened. And then she goes down, and then we get the final scene of this witch saying, "Oh, I finally got you," or whatever. And she runs down. Ooh, it was pretty good. And then it kind of just cuts right there, and it's like these people have never been found before. We don't found after. We don't know where they went. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. I love the other two, but this one, because I watched this last and I was like, this is fucking great. I want more of this. It's simple, but it was done so well that I don't care how fucking simple it is. It won me. So here we go. Story. I thought the build up on that was great, and also the little other things that was added between. It's a fucking 1. A creature. I'm not counting the witch as the creature. I'm counting the entire house, and I'm pretty sure that's what they're meaning for you to feel. So the house, number 1, being in this freaking house, crazy, and that ties into the atmosphere. That's also number 1. Runtime, it was about like 13 minutes or 11 minutes, something like
15:22.
It was 15:22, so it was also longer. But as I said before, if you're making a really good short and you're making a really long short, it better be fucking good. And this was very fucking good. So number 1. The effects, because the effects are pretty much your lighting and what you're seeing. It's number 1, man. It's a fucking 5 across for me.
Damn.
Buddy. Right. Anna, how you feeling?
Yeah, I was going to say, Anna, go.
Not as strongly. I did enjoy it.
Okay.
And I was sold. I'm always sold on found footage, especially even for it being a short. At the start, we did get the text. This is compiled from body cam footage and camera footage, that kind of thing. Why did they do this insurance thing at night? That's my question. Like,
Maybe
why did they not meet during the daytime?
I think it was
day. It was daytime,
so dark.
It started. Well, it's because it started storming, and they make a comment about that. They're like, "Oh, did you hear that fucking rain? Good thing we just made it." They said the white people. They said the white people thing, like we made it just in time.
Just in time. Yeah. Okay. I did hear that, but I just didn't connect the dots. That's why. Yeah. So she says too, like when they get in the house, she goes, "It smells like copper." So is there anything that's connective tissue wise to like ghosts and copper or things like that, or witches?
Copper is when you're around blood.
Yeah,
And your mouth, like you start tasting copper.
Okay.
So I'm thinking Dustin was talking about like a sacrificial area. There has to be something about that.
Yeah. And this house has been around longer than anything.
Yeah.
She says in the area, but most likely the state.
Yeah.
Older than hell.
Dude.
Older than hell. Even the camera guy was like, "This is older than the country, pretty much." They never should have split up. Why? Especially after. Okay, so she tells the story, which this is another reason why it's longer, is because we got to get the backstory of the house, and it kind of worked out great that the cop grew up there, had a family of cops, and so she knows all the lore and the story about this house. But not only that, she's had an experience there. But for her to still just be so like willing. I don't know. I guess because she's a cop. But if it were me, I'd be like,
it's her job. Yeah.
Send somebody else. I don't know. I wouldn't.
Sure.
So story, I gave it a 1 because I am intrigued in the story, but it just some stuff it just didn't nail again. Like Timothy, Timothy. I feel like I should have liked both of those more, but there's something that I just can't figure out like why it didn't nail it. Is it Creature? Yeah, Creature I gave a 0.5. And because I did that because I didn't really consider the house for one.
Okay.
But like at the end when we get the shot of the witch on the steps, it just seems like a person. Yeah. You know, like running a little too slow. It was like a person running down steps at a camera. Like there was no maybe speed the film up a little bit to make it like she's whooshing at you like, you know, a ghost would, because she might be a witch, but she's still a ghost. So, you know, it felt not scary enough when it needed to be. Now, I will admit the buildup was fantastic because all that found footage goodness with the camera light, like Dustin was saying, you can't see around the circle. Mm-hmm. I'm here for it. And then, I don't know, I feel like it just fell apart in the end. But atmosphere, I did give a 1 to because the house, found footage, more goodness as far as that's concerned. Every time I think that works. What's runtime? I gave it a 1 too because, like I said, length when it comes to stuff like this with found footage, sometimes you need to establish a little bit of a backstory. The effects, I didn't really. I put a 0 on there because I didn't really feel like there was any effects in it.
Sure.
That's fair.
So that gives me a 3.5.
Okay. Oh yeah.
What about you, dude?
So, story. I loved hearing that backstory told by that cop about the house. When I was looking, because I messaged the group, I was like, you know, found footage is fucking hard to find. At least a good one.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where I'm gonna try and stop pre-watching some of these to just here's the one we're doing, just so we all get the same experience.
Yeah.
But I started this one, and once I heard the camaraderie between the cop and the insurance broker, I'm like, all right, this is the one. And it's right after I sent that fucking text to Anna saying, hey, found footage is pretty hard to find. Immediately found one. But hearing her tell the story of her past and that house was fucking great. The buildup to, like you guys are saying, the buildup to the scares, phenomenal. So I'm giving this a 1 as well for story. Okay. I'm also in the same boat as Dustin. That house is scary as fuck. But there were a couple things where they're trying to joke around where they're like, hey, when was the last time this house was cleaned? And the cop goes 1622. all while there's a fucking Amazon box sitting right there.
Hilarious.
Type of
I
thing.
didn't even notice
Oh,
it.
I didn't
it's
notice
it's
that
not even, it's a
either.
big box like this. You see the big smile, dude. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. But what
Wow.
got me is I think what was in that big box is what we see in the basement. How that lady's gonna be able to wash clothes for days because there's about 15 bottles of detergent down there, dude.
On the steps.
Yeah.
Dude. I was like, all right, okay, fuck yeah, dude. But that house is scary as fuck, and I'm gonna lump that into the creep. That's also a one for me.
Okay.
Atmosphere is also, I'm lumping that together, dude, because scary as fuck in that house.
Yeah.
You're sucked into it.
Yeah.
You're around every corner, and once the power goes out, I was like, now we're in for it, dude, because now the scary shit is about to happen. So, runtime, this was another one where I was like, 15 minutes. I wonder how they're gonna feel about it. It hit every fucking. It didn't waste time at all when it came to a 15-minute short. That's a 1 as well. And Little D brought up the effects about the lighting and everything. Anna said she didn't really consider any effects. And I'm kind of in the middle of you guys.
Okay.
I do like the lighting of this movie. But I also wish we got to see the footage from his camera with what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
To him. But that last one, she looks up at the fucking stairs and that witch goes, got you. I was like, fuck. I was like,
It
fuck.
just gave me chill bumps.
Oh, it was so good. I'm giving that a 0.5 as well. So that rounds me out to a 4.5.
Dang.
So what was your score, Anna?
3.5.
3.5. That gives us a 4.33 average
Nice.
on the rates on the scare scale for this short.
Nice.
What was our oh wait, oh yeah, Fishwife was a 5 from everybody.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start keeping up with that.
Yeah, I'm stoked that math is happening. But no, I'm very, because I thought about it on the last episode. I was like, maybe we should like add these up and like do a ratio type of thing, like an average.
An average, yeah.
I like the average idea. So,
same.
like we said before, this isn't perfect. This is only our third one, so we're figuring things out as we're going to make it better at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I'm stoked for more shorts. I'm stoked to reach out to people. I'm stoked to get different types. I'm ready for the next one because Anna's already given us that's like, this scared the shit out of me, and I'm ready for those.
You better get
Dude, I can't wait to talk about it. Yeah, it's gonna go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, no, say they took the burden off my shoulders for one episode. Because which I don't mind one, but I love finding these shorts.
Oh yeah, dude.
But they both are like, we have the 3. I'm like, done. So.
No, yeah, easy peasy. Yeah, I've got to say I am really digging these Tales from the Barrens because I haven't watched many shorts. The few I have watched, I sent you today that we're going to cover next, but they affected me so much that I'm like, why have you not watched more? And you hear about filmmakers making short films all the time. People start out making short films before they go to features. And I feel like they do just get forgotten about or overlooked. It sometimes I'm like, why do I feel like it's harder for me to sit down and watch a short than it is to watch like a full movie, So I'm really digging this format. I think it's fun.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And one thing I'm just going to tack on is that Anna did something really, really smart the other day and has tagged our email on socials.
Oh yeah.
So if any
we watch our short
are out there listening to this podcast, or if you see it coming along the way, you can email us at the bhopodcast@gmail.com. Just say who you are. Just say short, blah, blah, blah. And if you can give us a brief little summary of what it is, preferably horror or even like dark fantasy, we can kind of stretch it out over
or
there.
adjacent, sure.
or
Horror
something like that.
adjacent, like sci-fi, thriller, suspense.
Oh, I'm ready to get in some extraterrestrial shit, dude.
Oh,
I
yeah.
am
Get us
so
some
fucking
freaking
ready.
alien
Let's do it.
shorts, dude. Come on. I'd love
Oh,
that.
We gotta
I'm
do it,
saving. I'm
and-
saving them.
Yeah, so just
So
go ahead.
are we
email
calling
us.
are we calling our next Tales episode Horror in the Home?
Maybe. Yeah. Right.
Something like that. Yeah, homebound horror, something like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, feel free to email us there or even DM us on socials if it's easier that way. Because Big D's been sorting through YouTube for a lot of these, and I do have I think a document of a bunch of shorts when I was going to Salem Horror Fest, and last year I was helping comb through a bunch of horror shorts for a festival that was actually all the short films. But I think I still might have an email that I might forward to both of you and see if we can maybe comb through some of those. But if you guys have any out there that maybe you haven't launched or you're afraid to put out and you want some eyes on there, give it to us. We'll give you some love and attention for sure. I think the short film format and being able to create a short film, and I've said this multiple times, if you could tell a story in a short amount of time, we'll say between like 5 and 15 minutes, if you can do a full-fledged story, maybe have 1 or 2 characters in it, but get from point A to point B, you're nailed it. And a lot of these have been doing that. I don't think we've had a short on here that we were both, or all 3 of us were like, I don't know how I feel about that one.
No, not so far.
So, go ahead, send us your shorts, and this was what?
Yeah, give me your
3?
shorts.
Yeah.
Anna needs your shorts.
Oh, yeah, man. But Big D, you want to take us out of this?
Yeah. So just a couple things we got cooking up. We have our 50th Screambox Essentials episode dropping at the end of this month. Fucking rad. There's a lot of stuff going on with that. We may or may not be giving some stuff away. Yeah. And also, Anna, evil laugh real quick.
Wow.
New shirt design coming.
So excited.
It's going to be good.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be good. I don't want to give too much away. All I will say is Derek, the kid who drew our last one, is drawing this one as well. Derek, the kid, eyeball soup, Griffin.
Dude, he's so talented.
This is the fucking man, dude. He sent me a message this morning and said his iPad program has told him he's worked 48 hours on the graphic art.
Jesus Christ.
I'm like,
dude. Yeah, I'm like, dude, put your pencil down.
It's
don't gotta rush
put the pencil down.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's killing it, though.
Anna, you got anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Yes, by the time this comes out, I think it will have been announced that I'm also joining the Give Me Back My Action Horror Movies podcast as their 4th. I'm very excited for that as well. I was excited telling them, like, guess what? The Barrens, I'm joining them. And Pete says, we got big time, gang. Which turned into, they were also thinking about inviting me to join. And like we talked about on the Violent Night episode, it's like your northern family meeting your southern family. We're all kind of like intertwined with each other because Big D does B action with Charlie. And it's just a great community we've got. Like, there's not a single dud in the bunch. They're all great shows, even greater people. And I'm very excited to join them this year as well.
Oh yeah.
I've had 5 big brothers adopt me.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm so happy to see you thriving in so many other areas of the podcast sphere. And also having you here, it's been great. And Big D, you've also added so much to this over the last year. And here's to 2025 being a massive success for everybody. And we're only on episode number 3 of Tales from the Barrens, and I'm fucking excited.
I know. I am too. This is fun.
It's only going to get better.
And also during this, you will also see all of our full moon movies that we are reviewing for full moon January. This is Anna's picks all month because it is her birthday month. For some reason, full moon always just Always this reminds me of a new year or just sitting down and watching a comfort movie because a lot of full moon movies are somewhat comfy. The first one we talked about, I can't say it about that one, but
I wasn't too comfy watching it after either.
Me neither.
Yeah, me neither, Bob.
Me neither, Bob.
Yeah, there's just a lot of really cool shit happening right now. So I guess right now we'll take it away. We got a lot of editing and things to make and some other planning and whatnot for the end of the month. But thank you guys so much for being here. And we'll see you on the next one.
Later.
Bye.